Hello everyone. Myself Professor Rutuja Jadhav, Assistant Professor from Computer Engineering Department of KK Wagh Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. Welcome all. Today we are going to discuss about the topic design and analysis of algorithm, divide and conquer strategy, and one example using divide and conquer strategy, that is binary search. So let us proceed. So these are the contents of today's discussion. First, we will discuss what is divide and conquer, introduction to the strategy. Then we will see the control abstraction of it and the recurrence relation of the same. Then we will see one example of divide and conquer, that is binary search. We will see its concept. Then we will discuss about the algorithm and the time complexity. So the objective and outcome of today's session is, objective is to understand the divide and conquer strategy. And the outcome after this session, you will be able to solve any given problem using divide and conquer strategy. So let us begin with the introduction of divide and conquer. So divide and conquer, as the name suggests, so it is a strategy wherein given a function to compute on n inputs, the divide and conquer strategy suggests splitting the input into k distinct subsets. So k distinct subsets, each of same size. So you will be yielding k different subproblems. So these problems must be solved, and then a method must be found to combine the sub-solutions into a solution of the whole. Since we are dividing the problem into sub-problems, each sub-problem will be solved separately, and then finally we are combining the solutions into a single solution, sub-solutions into a single solution. If the sub-problems are still relatively large, then the divide and conquer strategy can be reapplied again. So often the sub-problems resulting from this divide and conquer are of the same type as the original problem. So for those cases, reapplication of divide and conquer can be naturally expressed as a recursive algorithm. Now smaller and smaller the sub-problems of the same kind are generated until the sub-problems that are small enough to be solved without splitting are produced. So this is what is the divide and conquer control abstraction. The same explanation as I have given, same is the algorithm. So you can see the algorithm over here. So algorithm divide and conquer in bracket P. So here P is passed. Initially the divide and conquer algorithm is invoked with P, where P is the problem to be solved. Then we have checked in that if small p. So small p is a Boolean valued function that determines whether the input size is small enough that the answer can be computed without splitting. So it checks whether the given problem is small enough. If it is small enough, then we are directly returning the solution to the given problem, that is return S of p. Else, otherwise, that is the problem is not smaller enough, then what we are doing, the problem is divided into smaller instances. Let us say P1, P2, so on up to Pk. So k instances of the problem are sub problems are generated. Okay, and again we will apply the same divide and conquer to each of these sub problems. So if P is large, is of larger size, divide it into smaller instances, and then apply again divide and conquer to each of these sub problems. Then once these sub problems are solved, what we are doing? So from each sub problem, you will be getting a solution, right? So you'll so combine is the function which will combine the solutions obtained by the divide and conquer for problem P1, divide and conquer for problem P2, and divide and conquer for problem Pk. So for all the k instances, whatever are the solutions obtained, those solutions will be combined. So this is what is the control abstraction, or we can say the generalized algorithm for divide and conquer problem. So when we will go for divide and conquer problems, so whenever the given problem is large enough, then you can large enough and can be divided into similar smaller problems. At that time, we can go for divide and conquer algorithm. Okay. Now, let us see the recurrence relation of divide and conquer. So recurrence equation of divide and conquer is given as T of n is equals to G of n. Okay. What is T of n? T of n is the time required for divide and conquer on any input size n. What is G of n? G of n is the time to compute the answer directly from the small input. So if n is small, time required is G of n. Otherwise, if n is not small, then what we will be doing? Time required for subproblem n1, time required for subproblem n2, so on up to time required for subproblem nk plus f of n. What is f of n? F of n is the time for dividing the given problem and combining the solutions of these subproblems. So in general, we can write, we can say the recurrence relation of divide and conquer as T of n is equals to G of n. It is time required to solve the smaller given problem. If it is larger enough, then we are computing time required for each subproblems plus the additional time required for dividing and combining the subproblems. Then in general, again, we can say that the complexity of many divide and conquer algorithms is given by the recurrence of this form, that is T of n is equals to T of 1, and where n is equals to 1. If n is equals to 1, then the time required will be T of 1. And if n is greater than 1, then we can say the time complexity can be represented as a T of n by b plus of f of n. So what is a in this case? A and b are known constants, where a is the number of subproblems and n by b is the size of each subproblem. And f of n, as in the earlier case, f of n is the time required for dividing and combining the solutions of the subproblems. So this should be always kept in mind, and this is required for calculating the time complexity of any problem which can be solved using divide and conquer algorithm. So you have to keep in mind T of n is equals to T of 1 when n equal to 1. Otherwise, it is a T of n by b plus f of n. Okay, and this recurrence equation can be solved using one of the method called as a substitution method. So what is substitution method? So this method repeatedly makes substitution for each occurrence of the function t in the right hand side until all the occurrences disappear. Okay, so this is the recurrence relation for the time complexity can be represented by many divide and conquer algorithms using this recurrence equation. So it should be by heart. Then next, now let us see the binary search. So before seeing the example, let me tell you the concept of binary search. So binary search algorithm finds a given element. Basically, it's a searching algorithm, as the name suggests, binary search. So it finds a given element from the list of elements. The necessary requirement is that the elements should be sorted in increasing order. Okay, so all the elements should be sorted. Now, how the search process begins? So search process starts by comparing the search element with the middle element in the list. If both the searching element and the middle element are matched, then the index at which the element is present is returned. Otherwise, the element is checked whether the given element is smaller or greater than the middle element. If the element is smaller than the middle element, then the search process is shifted to the left hand side of the middle element, that is the left sublist of the middle element. Whereas if the element is larger than the middle element, then the same process of searching is shifted to the right sublist of the middle element, and the process continues until the element is found or the element is not present in the list. That whatever is the output that we get, till that the process is continued. Now here is a simple example of binary search. So here you can see there are 9 elements given over here. Okay, and the elements are sorted in increasing order. Now suppose we want to search an element 12 from this list. Okay, so what is the first step? We will search the element with the middle element. So what is the middle element of this? So 0 to 8. So 4 is the middle element. So what is the value at fourth middle element? It is 50. So 50 and 12 are compared. Okay, since 12 is smaller than 50, we will focus our search in the left hand side of the list. So that is, we will search the element from 10 to 32. Okay. Now what will happen? We will have to search the element 12, right? In the first half. Again, we will find out the middle element from the list. So middle element is 12. Okay. Now 12, the middle element and the search element, that is 12, is matched. So what will be the output? Now we will say the element is found at index 1. Okay. Now suppose we want to search an element 80. So again same process. Now 80 is the element present in the left hand side. So same process will be repeated. So middle element is 50 again. So you will compare 50 with 80. So 50 and 80 are compared. So we found out that 80 is greater than 50. So search will be focused in the right hand side of the list. So right hand side of the list is 55 to 99. Both are now again the middle element will be computed. So middle element is 65 now. 65 is greater than 80. Again it is not matching, and 80 is larger than 65. So we will be searching in again the right sublist. Now only two elements are present in the right sublist, 80 and 99. So middle element is 80. Yes, we will compare 80 and 80. The element is matched. So index 7 will be returned and the message will be displayed, element is matched at index 7. So in this manner, the binary search algorithm works. So this is the recursive algorithm of binary search. So algorithm binary search. So what are the parameters? So this is the recursive algorithm presented over here. A is the array of elements, I is the starting index, L is the last index, X is the element to be searched. Okay. So given an array A of IL of elements in non-decreasing order, we have to determine whether X is present or not. If so, we are returning J such that X is equals to A of J. J is the index of the element. If the element is not present in the list, we will be returning 0. So if L is equals to I, if the first element and the last element is same, that is if small p, if there is only single element present, then what you will do, you will search the X element with the current element. And if the elements are same, then you will return the index. If the element is not matching, we will return 0. Else, that is the number of elements are greater. So what we will do, we will find the middle element, I plus L. So this is the starting index, this is the ending index divided by 2. So we will find out the middle element. So if X is equals to A of mid, then we are returning the middle index. If the element to be searched is lesser than A of mid, then you are focusing your search in the first half. The array A, I is the starting index, mid minus 1 will be the last index and the element to be searched. Else, if X is greater than the middle element, you will be focusing your search in the second right half. That is A, mid plus 1 will be the starting index, L will be the last index and the X. So this is the simple recursive algorithm of binary search. Now we will see the iterative algorithm of the same. Now here the parameters are array, number of elements and the element to be searched. So see, given an array A of 1 colon n of elements in non-decreasing order, that is in increasing order, we have to determine whether X is present. And if so, then we have to return the index of the element, else 0 will be returned. So low is initialized to 1, high is initialized to n. So while low is less than or equal to high, what we have to do? Find out the middle element. How? So low plus high divided by 2. If the element to be searched is lesser than A of mid, then we will update our high as mid minus 1. Okay, that is in the first half we have to search. Low will be 1 only high we are updating, which will be mid minus 1. If the element to be searched is greater than A of mid, we have to focus in the right hand side. So we will update low as mid plus 1. Okay, and else we will return the mid. We'll talk about the time complexity of binary search algorithm. So there are two categories over here. You can see successful searches and unsuccessful searches. So it may happen the element that we are searching is present in the list, but it may also happen that whatever element we are searching in the list is not present in the list. So that will be unsuccessful search. So successful search is we are searching the element and is present in the list. Okay. So in the best case, the time complexity comes out to be theta of 1. What is the best case? The element we are searching is present directly in the middle element. In first search only, in first comparison only, we are able to find out the element. So the best case complexity is theta of 1. That is the element we are searching is present in the middle position. In the average case, the time complexity comes out to be theta of log n. Also in the worst case, the time complexity comes to be theta of log n. Now how it comes to be theta of log n is the recurrence equation that we have seen earlier of divide and conquer, a t of n by b. Okay, so here the number of problems are 2, t of n by 2. So if we solve this recurrence equation for binary search, it comes out to be log n. So in the average case and in the worst case, the successful search time complexity comes out to be log n. And in case of unsuccessful search, that is the element which we are searching is not present. So all best, average, worst, in all the three cases, the time complexity of binary search for the unsuccessful search comes out to be theta of log n. Because even though the element is not present, we are searching in both the list, first half as well as the second half, depending on the element, whether it is smaller or greater. Okay, so we are going to search. So that is why the time complexity in all the three cases for the unsuccessful search comes out to be theta of log n. So that is it for today's session. I hope you have understood what is divide and conquer algorithm and how to solve any problem using divide and conquer strategy. So one example that we have studied is binary search. So that is it for today's session. Thank you.